Benvenuti Amici and welcome to Life is Grape in Tuscany, where we uncork the rich traditions, delicious wines, and timeless dishes of this beautiful Italian region. I'm Rebecca Christofferson Goutennoir, your wine-centric guide through the vineyards, olive groves, cheese caves, and so much more. So whether you are living in Tuscany, coming to visit, or just have Tuscany in your heart, this podcast is aimed at you. In this first episode, I'll share why Tuscany captured my heart and my appetite. I'll introduce myself shortly so you know who's behind the microphone and why this podcast exists. I promise that this will be the only episode all about me. So before we dive into stories of Chianti, Pecorino, olive oil, and rustic Tuscan kitchens, let me tell you how I got here. I've lived in Italy for about 30 years now, rounding up or down. I first arrived in Florence in the mid-90s, planning only a short stay, but really, there was no plan. As many travelers before me and after me have learned, Tuscany has a way of wrapping around your soul. I never left. At first, I had to adapt quickly, learning the language, the gestures, even how to walk and talk like an Italian. I got my first job, then another, until one day I found myself in a cozy little wine bar in Santa Croce, one of Florence's very first. That's where the seed was planted. Wine had found me. I immersed myself in everything: books, sommelier courses, wine fairs, and endless winery visits. Tuscany's wines slowly started running through my veins. A few years later, I've entered into wine distribution, trying to bridge the gap between small producers and restaurants. That was tough, though, especially as a young Danish woman in the early 2000s Italy. But that's how I built the first winery relations for the wine tours that would come later. In fact, the wineries themselves, the winemakers and their stories became my passion, and then my profession, connecting travelers to Tuscany's finest winemakers, their unique wines, and the land itself. Along the way, I met incredible people, many of whom are now friends. One even became my husband. Pierre was a winemaker in Bordeaux and came on a wine tour with me. Anyway, that's a story for another time. For the past decade and a half, we share this Tuscan adventure. Like many small businesses, the pandemic hit us hard. But from the quiet of lockdown, a new dream took shape. Formaggioteca Terroir, our cheese and wine bar in Florence, to be. Inspired by time spent in France during the shutdowns, especially when those endless days ended with dinner being just cheese and wine, we decided to bring something new to Florence. Today, Formaggioteca is thriving. In 2023, we were honored to be awarded Best Cheese and Wine Bar in Italy. You can even see our little cheese Oscar in the shop window. Our latest adventure is our farm, Camposasso, a villa nestled in the Tuscan countryside. It's where we co-produce wine, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and cheese. It's also a retreat that rents out to small groups of max 6 guests for periods of 5 to 6 nights. It's our passion project and something we're so proud to share with others. And yes, if you've seen HGTV's Fixer to Fabulous Italiano, you've seen the renovation. Our friends Jenny and Dave Mars helped us transform Camposasso into something truly special. Life is Grape in Tuscany has for a long time been the motto. But this podcast is a new chapter for me. I don't consider myself a writer or a speaker, so a podcast was never on the roadmap, but here we are. I want to try to bring Tuscany to your ears with stories, flavors, and voices of the people who live here and love this region like I do. Together, we'll explore regions, recipes, traditions, and trends, and those delightful quirks that make life in Tuscany so Grape. In closing, here's my ask. Join me. Be part of the story. Send your questions, your feedback, and your ideas. This podcast is like a blank book, and I'd love for you to help me write it. If you enjoyed this intro, please subscribe, leave a review, or just tell a friend who dreams of Italy too. Until next time, salute!